George's answering machine. This was it on Seinfeld. I remember this was the biggest thing. And because this just really gives our age away, Michael.
Seinfeld still slaps, by the way.
George isn't at home.
I forgot about that. Was Seinfeld popular in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home.
Hey, I whenever I learned the lead guitar lick to Sweet Home Alabama,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be like, oh, this is cool, right? So I hit record for where that would normally be, and I play the right, and then I just saved it, right?
Yeah.
My grandpa called me, and I didn't know. He leaves me a message, and he calls me again. I see it, and he goes, "What in the hell? What was that?" And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's just distorted noise." I didn't realize that when I was playing, it was just like, and it's just blaring in people's ear when they were trying to leave me a message.
So it did not sound good at all.
No, it sounded horrible.
How long did you have it like that for before you realized?
It was he called me pretty recently, or pretty close to
Close
it, so,
after.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that was when Nextel two-way, so people didn't like, just beep somebody.
Do you remember pranking people back in the day? And you're like, did you ring the wrong number? Did you do that?
Yeah. Was it star 67 to hide your number?
Oh, these are things that like kids are just never gonna like understand these days, are they? Prank calling people.
Well, no, because now they got everybody. Now they got each other's location.
What was The Simpsons? Amanda hug and kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, we are such millennials. That's so good.
So funny.
G'day, mates. It's your host, Mary O'Neill Phillips, and you are listening to Country Outdoors Podcast.
We're here at CMA Fest, guys, with Michael Ray. Michael is no stranger to country outdoors. It's a pleasure to have you on again.
Thank you.
How many CMAs has this been for you?
Oh, I think my first one was like 2012 or 13. I played this was like when they first started doing, well, I don't know if it was when they first started, but it was when like the Bridgestone stage wasn't like, it was like one of the first times they did that. So I played that, or it might've been the Hall of Fame stage. But, and then like every year we've grown to, do Riverfront, and this year we didn't do anything, so we're working on new music. So next year, I like to do like fan club type stuff, or like take over a dive bar, and
that's cool,
and play a show for fans and stuff. So everybody's here, from all over the world. So it's like you got all the fans here in one spot. It'd be cool to do something like that. So I think next year we'll do more, but this year's definitely the chillest one I've ever done.
Well, you've got a tan on you, so you've been which is going to bring me to why has it been so chill? Because you've been fishing, I'm assuming, or just been boating or sunning, or
a little bit of all.
Florida living.
I just did a fishing trip with Fins and Feathers, which
how was that?
Chad Mendes. It was fun. I mean, it's always fun no matter what when you're out there on the water. It's a 3-day trip. We go off of San Diego into Mexican water.
A whale's vagina.
A whale's San Diego. And so we, the weather was absolute crap though. Weather was horrible. We didn't get as many bluefin as we normally do, but we still caught a bunch of fish. Still 3 days out on the water.
How many
still
guys?
Fun. But I think there was 20 something of us.
Oh, that's a big boat then.
Yeah. There's like living quarter. You're on the boat for 3 days and 3 nights.
Okay.
But it's fun. Or I think it's like 3 days, 3 nights. But sadly, the water was so rough and bad. Like some of the guys that went,
puking.
A couple of the guys, one of the guys we didn't see till from the first, like when we left that night, and then we didn't see him till like the 3rd day. He finally like arose from up. It was just constant. It's one of the nights we had to shoot straight through, so we couldn't fish that one night. So a little bit of a bummer, but it's
They didn't have any Dramamine or anything on the boat?
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody
Just
was all
didn't
patched
work?
up, looked like nicotine patches and shit, but it was didn't work for some.
Too late. You got to take it before you get on the boat.
It was also, these swells and stuff, and it was one of those like when you're walking, like you're you're bouncing into one side, bouncing to the other. I fell down the stairs because of it. That sucked.
Have you got a bruise?
Oh yeah.
Poor Michael.
Yeah. My knee's swollen. I had to golf yesterday, and I'm like, oh man, my knee was stiff for the first time ever in my life. I'm
That
like,
sounds
oh,
terrible. We should call Zach and tell him.
Yeah. Suck it up, Zach, dude. I got a bruised knee, dude.
Yeah.
Poor Zach.
If I'm hunting with a gun,
You know I'm running a Bog Death Grip tripod every single time. The one that got away still haunts me. Ugh, and I promised myself I'd never miss again for lack of a steady rest. So when that once-in-a-lifetime shot shows up, there's zero reason not to get locked in, get rock solid, and send it with confidence.
Let's talk about the new music that you're working on.
Yeah, we've been we're getting in this. Well, I'm starting to write more for it. I got songs that I've been sitting on for like probably a year or so now.
Yeah.
I had to get out of the deal, which didn't take long. It wasn't anything crazy, but then it was like we've been going nonstop for so long that just needed a time to reset, regroup.
So important.
And you kind of get my mind back right on some stuff. And what was cool about it was I got to do a lot of more hunting, but also during that hunting time is like when I talk to God the most and when I feel most connected. And I think when you take that time, when you're constantly busy, if you forget to take that time, like we talked about, it's very important. So during that time, it's also when you start missing what you're called to do, which is what I feel is music for me, And so now I'm just eager to get back out there, but we're writing more. We're, like I said, sitting on a few songs. We're going to begin in the studio and goal is to have something out. Hopefully by fall.
And so like now that you've taken a refresher, and by the way, you look very healthy right now.
Thank you.
Like even like since the last time I saw you, you look even fresher.
Thank you. I've been super strict on a real strict diet. Been just taking my health more seriously.
You look younger, honestly, than you did like the last time I saw you.
Thank you.
And like have been progressively like look like just.
Thank you. That means a lot because I've been trying.
That's good.
I've been a meal prep every Sunday and Wednesday and just trying to eat it.
Let's talk about that a little bit because I find like that, you and I have spoken about like food and what the food industry looks like in the US right now and how hard it is for most people to be able to feed their families healthily and all of that. What does that look like for you if you're like now what does that regimen look like? And then like what are you eating on a daily basis and like schedule and all of that? So
right now I'm doing like more of lean protein. So it's a lot of like ground turkey or I got like, ground venison that I, from hunts that I've done. I got some antelope. I really like ground antelope. Actually, it's really good.
Yeah.
So I right now, honestly, I eat either what's in my freezer that I kill.
Yeah.
Or there's a market down by my house called JoJo's Market. Shout out JoJo's. It's this mom and pop market. It's all farm to table with the meat, the veggies, everything.
That's awesome.
And it's just a sweet couple. They're awesome. It's like you go in there and it's kind of like Cheers, but for a grocery store. Everybody knows everybody. And
there's an old man with his coffee cup in the corner.
Yeah. That's the only thing we need to add that. I'll probably be that guy.
You just need to bring like one chair in and just have it as like Michael's chair with like a little piece of paper.
So, but I've been doing like a lean. If I'm not eating that, then I do like lean ground turkey, and then like sweet potato or jasmine rice. Love zucchini. I've been on the zucchini.
Yeah, I like
kick.
zucchini too.
A lot of eggs. I've also started really studying like you want to wake up. I don't. I really honestly I know I'm drinking coffee right now, but I've cut back a lot on that. So in the mornings I got a routine of like breath work, and I do fasted cardio in the morning, and then water with a pinch of salt.
Are you into the olive oil yet?
I've done the olive oil. Yeah. I gave up on the apple cider vinegar. I'll be honest with you.
I've been doing a shot of olive oil, like the high EMOO or whatever it's called, but it's like the olive oil shot with lemon.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. It's great for your gut health is so important. It's something I didn't really pay a lot of attention to until I really started diving into like important times to eat certain things. Like you want your first meal of the day. It's where you want to stack carbs and a lot of protein.
Yeah.
So to hold you off until that next meal. The snacking in between is all stuff that's just been something that the over-processed food, it doesn't fill you up. It does absolutely zero for you, So any one ingredients to two ingredient type things that you can eat, that's what you want to eat. So that's kind of what I stick to. I got rid of like all plastics in my house. So it's all,
I'm in that process as well.
Oh, I'm like one.
Copper? Are you doing copper yet?
I have some copper utensils. Yeah.
I'm trying to like transition everything into copper too, just for like health. Cause apparently like copper has like a really high frequency as well. And they used to back in the day in like hospitals and everything, like if you were sick, they'd give you all your drinks in copper cups and everything. And it's like
the Moscow Mule cups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently like that was, it seems like it, like there was a decision to make America sick and get rid of all of these things that were really good for us.
Yeah, well, when you look at like certain foods and stuff and what God provided for us on this planet, when you go back to like ancestors, this is what I've been obsessed with. When you go back to like our ancestors, where when you look at old photos, there wasn't obesity, there wasn't diabetes. There wasn't, the children going through what they're having to go through health-wise at an early age. Well, I mean, and you don't even have to go that far back. Go to our grandparents' generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at their photos from back
They
when
were
they were around our
tiny,
age.
so skinny.
Yeah, and guess what? They were
Because they didn't have the like luxury of being gluttonous.
100%. And then when you look at it, even with us, right? It's like your daughter, what the Gatorade she's drinking right now is very different than the Gatorade you were drinking after soccer. You know what I mean?
I saw a video on that on
Yeah,
like how they originally made the Gatorade, and it was literally like salt and lemon and like a couple of ingredients. It was like bicarb soda or something, salt and lemon and something else, and it was like.
Yep. And then now you look like, one thing I always tell people, I'm like, if you're trying to get healthy, first step you can do is just look at your ingredients on everything.
Yeah.
If you have this bar and it has a paragraph full of ingredients, that is, you might as well eat a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That protein bar ain't doing
100%.
ain't doing nothing for you. But so I think in this last year of like slowing down and just focusing on myself, I think I got off the tracks there for a couple years and let some things get to me. And it was like, it's okay to be down. It's just not good to stay down.
Yeah.
Oi! Stop. So I've actually been looking at buying land myself, and it's made me realize how important it is to have the right lender. And that's why I love what Rural First are doing. They specialize in land and rural financing, and they even invest back into rural communities, which I personally love. So if you're curious, like I am, go and check them out at ruralfirst.com.
Loans subject to credit approval and eligibility. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
Farm Credit Mid-America is an equal housing lender.
Rural First is a registered trademark of Farm Credit Mid-America, NMLS 407249. Rural First products are available to consumers within the territories of participating farm credit system associations.
So going into like this next wave, then like when you do decide to like put new music out and you do decide to be like kind of get back into touring like that and everything, like have you got like a bit of an idea of how you're going to structure that so that you don't fall into old patterns and don't burn out and all of that?
I think one of the things is I've really focused on trying to be better is being more open and honest and not trying to be, oh no, I got this, and then isolate myself trying to fix it and then pop up and then something happens again. That was kind of a pattern. Something I realized when I did like ayahuasca and stuff was like, that's a pattern I've brought since childhood, right?
Yeah.
So like something I broke, and just being honest with like the team, being honest with my mate, realizing that like all these people around, it's weird that I guess in the last couple of years just really realized this, but it's true. They're only trying to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like if you don't say, hey dude, I'm struggling with this, they're not going to look at you like, oh God, Michael's, whatever. They're gonna be like, hey dude, what can we do to help?
Yeah.
And so I think making that a priority as far as like letting people in more, and letting people know where I'm at more, and especially with the team of it, and going, okay guys, listen, if we're going to go do, I'll go do, I'm a touring musician, that's what I've done my whole life. I'll go do the 30 dates, right? But like in the fall, I need these 2 weeks, and I'll do a 40-day tour if you want,
but my phone is turned off in that 2 weeks and you will not be able to contact me. I'm on a mountain.
What ended up happening on that fishing trip. I forgot to hit up. I forgot to hit up Alan and everybody. And all of a sudden I'm gone for 3 days. The Wi-Fi was horrible on it. So I just gave up. I just left my phone in my bunk. I get back. I go, it was like you, Alan, all these people were like, is he dead on this ship? Like what happened? I'm like, sorry guys, I was on a boat with no Wi-Fi. Normally the Wi-Fi works good enough where you can text or kind of FaceTime a little bit, but it was not.
But that's okay. And you know what? Most things are not that urgent.
Yeah.
And you can take a couple days. And then, especially if you've got your group and you're like, okay, I'll do like what you said, I'll do those 30 dates and then plan out, okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I think too, I think it not only benefits like you as a person, which within return benefits your team, it benefits the show that the fans get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're burnt out on anything, no matter what you do, if you're fortunate enough to do what you love for a living, at some point it does become a job. There is some days where it's like, God, man, the last thing, it's like, I gotta go hunt this thing. What anybody else, they're like, Bill, I'd love to go, but it's like, bro, this has been my 15th hunt this month, for people like you guys or people that are, in that industry that are filming and recording, doing it all the time. So I think like it just everybody wins from you being in a good place, and then you get to show, it's like, I'm excited. I've never been not excited to get on stage and perform, but like, there's times at the end of a couple years ago where it was just like, I felt like everything around me was falling apart.
Yeah.
And
because it was.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And like, we're kind of doing the same thing and everything's just fallen. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So we're at a point where I was just like, F it. You know what I mean? Let's just watch it all burn.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Like a little bit on like, I mean, because I think it's kind of good for people to know like what the what it looks like to be completely like stripped by the media and cancel culture too, because like that is such a toxic side of entertainment. Do you know what I mean?
It's absolute bullshit.
Yeah,
you know?
and like and the reality is like no one really knows what's going on apart from you and people behind closed doors. But it's like such it's like really bullying that's like allowed. It's a weird part of culture today. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like happens in front of everybody.
Yeah. And it's like we've created this. We've made reality the entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like people forget like that's still a person on the other side. And also nobody knows everything. Yeah. Right. So you're only knowing either what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. Which is going to be probably leaning more towards me, or you're going to know what so-and-so's saying, or you're going to, no one was really there for anything. And then people go and then they go, oh, let's use, that's their entertainment for us. I'm going to comment my whatever. And in reality, it doesn't matter.
Well, and you also like most people don't even think about like the PR machine behind something and like what the messaging might be because there's money on one side or whatever and all of that stuff. But I find it really interesting.
How are you feeling tonight? It's CMA Fest. Performances by Lainey Wilson, Luke Bryan, Jelly Roll.
Are y'all with us tonight?
And rockin' collaborations. Russell Dickerson featuring Fetty Wap, Gretchen Wilson featuring Ella Langley, and more. Plus, the can't-miss reunion of Florida Georgia Line, the music event of summer.
Let's go CMA Fest!
Presented by SoFi, June 25th on ABC, next day on Hulu.
In terms of like getting back to shows and all of that, now that, do you think you're going to do like more stripped down versions and more acoustic, or because it kind of seems like your style's definitely changed a lot? You've more
Yeah, I think we're going to tie in a lot more of that stuff kind of tied in with full band stuff, Something that we've kind of talked about is once we get like more of a tour rolling and being able to have a full band, like maybe find like a cool dive bar close by and do something, or maybe do a dive bar type tour. We kind of teased that a little bit last year, but we didn't have new music going out. We just kind of threw a few together just to test it and see, and it went really well. So that's something that we're looking at. And, also like trying to do more things when I'm in a town to connect with fans more, like maybe do something beforehand somewhere, like, I don't know, just set up something to where like every stop we go to is we make it count, not because it gets you can get in that pattern where you're like, okay, you wake up, you go to the gym, you do the radio interview, do this, and next thing you know, sound check, and then you meet and greet, and then before you know it, show's over with and you're gone, and you really haven't invested in that town.
Something, I'm just throwing an idea out there, but like, maybe you could do something where you go and like meet at the VA with people before shows. Yeah, Like I feel like that's like on brand for you and like you'd enjoy that. But like,
absolutely, so something like that is actually what we're kind of thinking. Doing something where it's like, hey, everybody just get together before whatever, for an hour or so, whatever it is. I think having that time off, you also can look back on things and go, oh, I wish I'd have done this different. Man, I kind of took that for granted, and so you kind of now you look back when you kind of do the restart, you go, okay, I'm not gonna take that for granted again.
Well, and also like, it's all a learning curve, and I think you're planting different seeds now anyway. For sure. And it's like at this stage, they'll be more impactful and more meaningful.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think too, the way that the music industry is now, or the way that people are consuming, it's not necessarily like one song to radio. No, you can have that one song to radio, and it could be a fun summer anthem. You know what I mean? Like just a fun song that doesn't have a lot of meat lyrically, but it doesn't need to, you know. But then you can also release 5 other songs that kind of tell your story, where a lot more people kind of connect. I always say like Tim McGraw records, for instance, like my favorite Tim McGraw songs. Of course, he had the bangers on radio, Yeah. But like you want to hear some great written songs, listen to a Tim McGraw album. Yeah. The album cuts are unbelievable. Yeah. So I think that it's kind of a cool way to navigate now, where I feel like I can, put a song to radio. Not saying that those songs don't always work at radio, but they just tend to be a little harder, you know, like more of a heavy song.
Well, and radio doesn't the reality is radio doesn't hold the power that it used to either, which is also a blessing sometimes, because especially if you're not restarting, but you're refreshing, social media can have huge power, and community events, community touch points.
Yeah,
know, so-
and I think that's another avenue that radio's using to go, okay, here's who we're gonna play.
Yeah.
And so when you can
What they're looking at, like who's going hot on TikTok and all of that
right,
stuff,
right.
and then
that
going,
definitely helps, for sure.
interesting.
For those guys, but for me, I'm just right now, I'm like, dude, I just want to make the music that tells my story the best. It's something that I haven't really done, and I ain't talking about, just talking about like real life stuff, and
Yeah.
and have those fun songs, but also have some stories where I feel like I said, dude, I've always kind of had a wall up,
Yeah.
and
then you did ayahuasca and it took it down.
yeah, I just completely took it down.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, we all just go through shit.
We're just people.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just all people trying to keep our head above the water
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just trying to put gas in our trucks
That's
in
it.
2026.
Yeah. God almighty. I had to buy eggs the other day.
I know.
It cost me 2 gallons of gas for eggs. $10.
Someone said to me yesterday or the day before, "Oh, have you been touring around in your camper?" And I said, "Do you think we can afford diesel right now?"
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"You know how much that thing costs to pull around?" Absolutely not. We've been booking Airbnbs. They're cheaper than the camper.
Yeah. Pretty soon you're going to see these stadium acts just in like renter vans.
That's the thing. I'm like, but people can't pull tour buses either. Like,
Well, that's what, we leave Friday night for Wilmington, North Carolina. And, that gas changes, our guarantee doesn't change, so it's like we budget out, like, okay, it should cost us about this much fuel, this much for driver, this much for band, all that stuff, right? That's all budgeted in that whatever amount it is.
like, right, we can afford McDonald's on the way home.
Yeah. We got to share one bite a piece. Everybody goes dollar menu only, but that's not even $1 anymore. So now that gas is freaking $5-6 a gallon on a bus. Now that, you're looking at damn near $2,000. Just
And here's me leaving 30 gallons up in the thing yesterday because I had to suck it out with the hose. We're going to have to go and get it after this.
we could sell that on the street. We could sell some side gas on the street I'll sell it to you for $3.50 right now. Yeah. I sell this gas to you, buddy, for $3.25. What you got?
So good.
If you hunt, you know how easy it is to lose track of where you are, especially around property lines. That's why here at Country Outdoors, we only use onX Hunt, the #1 hunting app. It shows public and private boundary lines, so you always know where you stand. We use it for scouting, marking spots, and even navigating. It just takes the guesswork out of everything. If you want to hunt smarter this season, go check out onX Hunt at onxmaps.com and know where you stand.
You and I were talking off camera about your upcoming fall hunts.
Mhm.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, I got Chad Mendes, my boys sent me my license this year for the antelope. So I'm going back to Colorado, my buddy Alex Nest and all them with Fins and Feathers, to do an antelope hunt. And then we got a blacktail hunt.
Yeah.
Chad and I do coming up in Paso.
That's in California.
Paso Robles,
Yeah,
in California. And then
Is that your first one?
this is me my first blacktail hunt.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited for that. We're working on an elk hunt for next year. Fingers crossed. I talked to Chad and a couple of the people that tied in.
New Mexico?
One was an option. Yeah. I didn't say one was an option. I said one, but it made me sound
Will they
like that
hook
with
you
New
up
Mexico.
with that, or is that like a...
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, I pay for my tag and stuff, you know, but, and then, fingers crossed, May of next year, we're working on a Canada bear hunt. So
And so we're in Canada.
I have no idea.
Northern Ontario,
So
probably.
I met this awesome father and son on a Fins and Feathers trip, right? And he was showing us photos. It's like we're all sitting there, so everybody's showing like deer.
Yeah.
No hunters are showing photos of their kids. You know what I mean? It's like, screw that kid. Look at this.
Unless that kid shot their first
Unless
deer.
they shot his first deer. Yeah. It's like, look at my son walking. So they were showing us these bear hunts that they just did, and his son got this monster big black bear. And so they were showing us. He's like, dude, we go to the same place. I know the guys, and I think they drive up over. I want to say Michigan. I might be wrong, but they drive over, and it's a little bit of a drive. But once we get there, we're ready to rock. But I have no idea where it's at in Canada.
Awesome.
I need to probably start asking more questions.
Yeah. If you do that, yeah, you do, actually. Do we know these people?
Yeah.
Is it
I
a
know,
real camp?
I know the father, son, and I'm going with Chad Mendes,
Okay.
who's
so
a
Chad-
UFC fighter. So
Yeah. So
if
if
a bear gets close and I miss it, I'm just going to sick Chad's little ass on him.
Chad-
Yeah. Have him choke it out real quick.
goes first.
Yeah, I'm just following Chad and everything.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. I think if you do this elk hunt, you need to film it.
Oh, I will. I will.
100%.
Yeah. That's always been one I've just always wanted to do.
Yeah.
we've talked. I've had a couple opportunities, but we were always on the road. Or when the opportunity came, it was like somebody backed out last minute, so they called me like a week and a half, 2 weeks before. I'm like, I can't. But so hopefully this year or next year, we're gonna lock one in. So
awesome. And before you wrap up, let's talk about Offstage America.
Yeah.
And the podcast that you launched recently. So guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go and check it out. Michael is it like a monthly or just kind of when you can?
So right now, because the main focus is music, and getting this new record out. So right now we're kind of having like catch up episodes, where me and Paul and Brady just kind of catch up on, because Brady's out filming. He's doing, he's doing wrestling with 1FW. He's doing, matches with Ring of Honor and also while being a stunt guy, And then Paul's in Kentucky, got kids and doing his thing. So all of us kind of bring this different thing to it. So right now we started it weekly. Now it's kind of like monthly, or is when we can.
When we can.
And then as this record starts going, and I'm going to be filming a lot of this record process. One, so fans can see the bare bones of it.
Will it be on your YouTube?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll
Michael
be
Ray YouTube.
Michael Ray Music,
YouTube.
Yep.
Okay.
Which Zach is going to be helping me get
Zach.
going. Thank you, Zach. Also,
now that he doesn't have anything
now he
to
has
do,
nothing to
cripple.
do. So yeah. Thank you, Zach. I had to do something to make sure I had all his attention.
Yeah. Oh, you're the one who anchored down the boat.
Yeah. It's like Nancy Kerrigan back in the day, just right in the knee, right.
Oh my gosh.
But so it's been a fun podcast to do. We recorded a bunch in January, and that kind of got us to here. And then time flies very fast.
Yeah, it does.
And you're just like, oh shit, dude, we're done. We got 2 more. Oh, And then so now it's just like we're also getting some stuff working behind the scenes of it, and so we're excited. I definitely want it to be a weekly thing at some point, but
love it.
Now just focusing on the music.
Perfect. Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
Guys, Michael Ray, CMA Fest 26. Awesome.
Thank you.
A lot of us grew up with Field and Stream, dreaming about our next cast, our next hunt, and our next outdoor escape. So join the 1871 Club today and head to fieldandstream.com/1871 Club.
Round here we all thank heaven for God's grocery store.